Hey guys, I'm Takashi is here. Now Las Vegas is getting really hot right now, warm right now. It's almost like 42 Celsius. It's more like 100, 109, 110 degree outside in the daytime. But I'm still going for my walk with my bicycle. That's like crazy, but I feel still really good. It's not moisture. Again, it's really hot, but compared with I used to live in Australia and like a 40 degree, it's really hot and steamy. And even Japan in the summer is really sticky. But here it's so dry. It's actually, wake up in the morning, like reading a book. It actually feels quite nice. So I'm still happy to live in Vegas. So today I'm talking about more about the presence or even the acting or even the communication. So when it's come to communicate with someone, it's not just about what you talking, but how you talking, so how you received, how they talking, and then actually the non-verbal part, the communication is essential. Why I came up this idea today? Because recently I finished watching the Japanese very classic old anime, Kidou Senshi Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam. It's a 1979. I just put some subscription for the Crunchyroll and then start watching. And then, oh my God, so good and really touching because I watched the Turn A Gundam. I'm sorry, I didn't watch the first Gundam series for a long time, but this is my first time I watched the original, very original first Gundam. And I noticed a lot of layered text and then direction. The director Tomino-san, the directing way is very interesting. Even like back in the low budget, and then they don't have enough animators and quality and budget, but they did the best what they can do. But in a script, the dialogues, a lot of layered script. So some episode is entirely in the subtext in the behind. I'll explain about subtext later if you're the first time you're doing acting anything. But so if you miss the context or what's behind what the character is saying, you completely miss the whole episode or what's going on. It's not just about story. Okay, just go to the thing, go to the space, the Gion, the enemy is coming, you have to fight, and then you win. That's it. No, not like that. Every episode you got some fight scene, but it's not just only that. It's all about drama behind. And then even that was 1979. It's more layered and more drama. But how about all these modern films or TV shows? I feel like literally saying, which means it's very one-dimensional. It's not layered. It's not complex. There's no context behind. It's just telling what's going on. So when it's come to real life, we think about it. Is that most of the communication is non-verbal communication, right? I mean, okay, I'm working at a casino dealer, and then sometimes, okay, welcome to the table, sir, and do some interaction. But hey, how are you? Well, what actually you talking literally? It's not the big thing. As a dealer, of course, I have to explain the game and then communicate, customer service maybe, chit chat, American people happy to chat. But the thing is, what's the context behind it? Some players will just bring me a really good energy. Sometimes the player give me a bad energy. Of course, it's like so many things going on. But it's actually not just about words. Even talk to my colleagues or my floors or all the managers. It's the same thing. So I think, for me, working at the casino as a table game dealer is actually my dojo. Dojo, like a martial arts practice. It's my actually dojo to practice my acting as well, because it's more about the presence without what actually you're saying. It was actually without to follow the game rules or stuff like that, but more about interactive communication as an acting. It's a live acting. It's to talk to the customer, player, games, showing some performance. And I'm not showing the performance. There's no performer there, but still do some, the cutting the chips on the through, give the cards or stuff like that. So that's spin the ball for the roulette. It's all performance. It's not. A lot of dealers can do the same thing. A lot of dealers. I'm still new dealer. They're amazing master dealers. But what's the difference between master dealers they doing a long time and the new dealers? I think like a gung fu, in the martial arts terms, it's like the presence is totally different because they do like a communication without saying the words. So just be there and spin the ball. It's like a presence is totally different. Yeah. So I want to talk about explore what is presence. And then what is nonverbal communication? What is layered acting? So even if you're watching today, you are not the experienced actor, or you're starting new beginner, or you don't have any interest for the acting, but this is what actually really helps you about understanding what's behind the verbal communication. So to go to the next step, I'm going to share the two things as a really, really basic acting techniques. I don't want to say anything techniques, but this is really helpful to understand about in terms of communication. And even if you want to become like, success actor, this is really essential. This is a basic. If you go to any acting school, I think the 99%, most of them, they teach this. But I want to talk about more from my perspective, from my understanding. All right, start from the subtext. I just talked before. In Japanese, I learned from my teacher, Masako. She always talk about 意味のないセリフ in Japanese subtext. So セリフ means a dialogue. 意味のない means no meaning. So no meaning dialogue means subtext. So they always talk about what's the actual concept you say in this line. So normally people in a real life rarely say what you mean directly, correct? And then it depends on the folks, on the motivation. Why are you saying this? It's like you want to make it annoy you. What's the purpose? Annoying you, maybe flirting you, or go on something like objective. What's the purpose? Always think about purpose, and then let action drive the meaning. So that's actually helps. How you say the line is totally different. So in a Mobile Suit Gundam, a lot of dialogue scene is actually, it doesn't matter what actually saying. For example, from the original Echo 8, I pick up the two dialogue. If you watch the movie Echo 8, towards the end, Echo 8, so my character plays Agent 5, and Echo 8, she found out everything, and she now against her antagonist, who is me, my character, Agent 5. So her line says she turns back, and I might show here because that's I also have, I'm a director, I have a license for the video, so I might show here. I know everything. And she said that. And my character said, not everything. What this mean? So I know everything, maybe because she know he's the one who masterminded, controlled everything, set up everything, and then make her in a bad situation because for his purpose. But maybe I know everything, If you try to kill someone, okay, it's a spoiler. Kill my mom, I'm gonna kill you. So that's she's trying to say. It's a subtext, or maybe more different layers. You can guess. And it depends on Maria's acting in that moment, how you feel. I'll show you now the video and how you feel, right? And then my character said, not everything. Literally, okay, what's the meaning behind? Because she still yet don't know why my character is set up all these things. What his purpose? So that's why he said, not everything. But also at the same time, because I train you, and if you against me try to kill me, I kill you back. So like it's not like a huge big conflict. You like a statement of the purpose. Now I'm happy to fight you. It's almost kill you. I'm happy to kill you because they are assassins. But at the same time, so this is interesting. From Echo 8's Anna's character, it's like Echo Agent 5 as like a father. It's like he's a master, like a train you. So it's like betray you, and then like a disappointment, and also the anger, because she followed her justice. But at the same time, that actually Agent 5 is a little bit something interest in her. It's not just about like a love interest or romantic. It's a very dangerous interest, but maybe could be like not only from the training as a human, or maybe sexually, but I'm not sure. Even I directing, of course, I play the acting, but the thing is more the context behind it, because as an actor, director, I don't want to give the one choice in the moment, because a lot of subtext behind. So as an actor, the director, I reckon the best way to create the scene is not just give the option A and then just show to the audience. Okay, here we go. Here's the answer. It's like a feeding the food, just breastfeeding style. Here, baby, here's the milk, like a breastfeeding style of acting. Rather than I try to avoid that one, because really good film, you can analyze, and then because a human is very, very complex. And I do respect my writer, Elizabeth. When she wrote, she never put her ego. She always respect the character's life. So as a director, actor, your work main purpose is to bring the character believable and exist in the screen. So after I finished Echo, and whenever I watch this film, again, it's not the best film. Of course, it's a limited resource and a budget, and then maybe my acting is not that, great, but we did our best. I still feel the good part, the sweetest part of this film, I still feel these people, all these characters still exist somewhere in a different dimension of Western Sydney. So that's whenever I watch a really good film, Turn A Gundam first, Mobile Suit Gundam. I have a lot of favorite films, Terminator, for example. Now, all these films, I believe, all these characters, we believe, exist somewhere in an auto universe, in the screen. So that's the beauty of creation. So which means back to the presence of subtext. So you creating the subtext is not just about, okay, first step is you say the line, I know everything. But the second layer is, I know everything. Maybe the subtext, I kill you. I know everything means I kill you. But more emotion, the third, fourth, fifth, seventh, 10 different layers, maybe because she's saying, because she feels sad, because she likes Agent 5, but at the same time scared, or so many different emotions. Maybe for the Agent 5, maybe have some little bit dangerous interest on Echo 8, but at the same time, the anger, the frustration of, or maybe because of his trauma, or something he's, as a human's dangerous side, it's not just about one layer, two layer, three layer, fourth layer. So if you create the moment, it's never gonna be one-dimensional acting, right? So this is the first thing, subtext. The second thing is a very common, this is actually more easier to understand. It's called inner monologue. In Japan or whatever, I learned from Masako. She always said, 心のセリフ. 心 means heart or mind. セリフ means dialogue. So inner monologue. So even in a silence, we always talking in your mind, right? Were you at the bus stop just waiting the bus? It takes long. I have to go early, or what I'm thinking for, what I want to eat for my lunch today. I might go to the grocery. Always thinking something pop up your head. So if you do this as an acting, actually it makes you really, really grounded. But again, this is more for beginners technique for like strategy to how to be present in a screen and feel authentic. But especially if you're the beginner actor, this is really helps. When I was doing the background extras, I start doing this is actually I start more enjoying the background extra job because you don't have any dialogue. You're not allowed to speak aloud your line. Sometimes yes, but most of the time the main actor is speaking in from the camera. The background extra cannot speak loudly, even you're just standing behind or you're just okay. The customer at the cafe scene or restaurant scene, you cannot speak loud. So, but actually, this is really helps with acting. And believe it or not, I'm a director, and I start from my acting from background extras over 10 years. I totally understand when you start doing acting as a background extra. However, if you are really good in the presence on camera, even the background, director will catch quickly. If the director is really good director, me and my wife Maria and I catch really quick. The last shooting of the 2 months, January, February, on an Echo A trilogy shooting, we actually found so many great actors from the background extras. And I'm still communicate with them. Sometimes they still send me an email. I really appreciate to work with them, even they didn't get the feature role in a screen. But sometimes what normally we do, because our filmmaking is more for community and they gives more accessible to work on a film. So what I do is whenever I really enjoy the moment with all these extra people, actually I'll give them a chance to be featured extra or something in front of the camera or something 1 or 2 lines. Yeah, that's actually happened, like a underground fight scene, oh, that's cheating or something. The girls like, oh, like something exciting moment or even 1 or 2 lines. I'm happy to capture in the moment in the camera because that, as a director's perspective, that actually builds up the more real story exists in the movie world. So if you work on a background extra, just think about it's not just about you doing the background extra job, but actually how you be present on set in the screen because you're still in the character in the movie, right? So these 2 techniques I shared today, inner monologue, 心のセリフ, and subtext, 意味のないセリフ. So, but this is still beginning. But more how you become great actor and how you want to achieve more next level is actually the presence tell the story. I watched in the last episode, I watched the Karate Kid Legends, the Jackie Chan. When I watched Jackie Chan in the movie, his character is cameo. Not that many dialogue. Maybe he's more roles after half of the film. But some scenes, he doesn't have any lines. You just sit down and just look and then like just looking, that's it. But we're so excited and then, oh, what he's doing? And it's so funny. And then that's the moment, the master of acting, because it's just a presence. He doesn't do anything. Let someone to act, let someone to engage. So that's the like a driving force, what like a black hole, like power, his own energies coming to his character. I think that's the something you want to achieve as an actor. So strong presence, which means others feels motivated to talk to you. So for me, actually, the similar things happens all the time because I'm also practicing my presence. And like, for example, last week, after finish my work in the 4 a.m. in the morning, I go as usual, riding the bicycle on a morning strip. And all of a sudden at the traffic lights, at the stopped, and then all of a sudden the car next to me and stopped. And all of a sudden the power window going down, and then like a nice friendly black dude talk to me. Hey man, be careful. There's a lot of in a smiley way. Hey, you have to be careful, man. Like a lot of drunk people, drunk drivers around this time. Oh yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Well, he doesn't have to say anything. I'm just riding a bike, and then he came from my back. But why he communicated with me? Because he feels lonely in the morning. He wants to communicate. He's really openly. Either way, he has some interest in me. He is the one who decide to open the door, open the window, and say hi and communicate to me. And then I was pretty chilled, relaxed, and beautiful, like almost sunrise in the morning. And I feel like, such a beautiful morning. I finished my work, feels good. So if you are really grounded and you are present, then let someone start talking to you. I think that's the most important part. That's why I always, not in my acting class, I always think how the power of relaxation and mindfulness, that's the most important tool to be present in front of the camera. Not in front of the camera, maybe for the daily lives. Yeah. So I think, because why this is important, because when you communicate with someone, I've been talking about, it's not just about what you literally saying. So because the human have two sides, in Japanese we call Kansei. The Kansei means a raw feeling or intuition. And also the other side is Risei. Risei is more like a logic, science, reasoning. So we are interesting animal because we have an intuition, like a feelings as an animal at the same time. But what makes difference the human is actually human also have a logic way of thinking. But think about it as a connection. When you see someone step in to say hi, or even you feel something, oh, she's cute, or he's cool, or something, or a bit scary, or is very offending, or something, or a bit weird feeling from this guy. When you see something, actually, your intuition tells something first before you still start thinking logic. And then next action is say, hi, how are you? Right? So you feel first. So we have two things in our body. So if you understand these two things coexist in the human body, you actually can more break down easily when you do communicate or present, even acting. So for example, actually I want to talk more about overt acting techniques because nowadays a lot of conflict happen in the world. And you saw a lot of news, even after post-pandemic, I don't know why. I feel like the world is getting backwards. We experienced a huge world war, and so many bad things happened before. I thought the human learned, but seems like going backwards for some reason. But all these things all taken over, not our generation, still a lot of, even all the government things or the politics, whatever, someone who has power is not my generation, still someone in a higher, bit more older generation. And then they still think like a very old school way of thinking. And then why they going that way? Because I've been telling you, because the two things coexist, right? Intuition, sensitivity as a human being, but as humanity. But at the same time, human have logic. So if you go logic, it's taken over, and then start chasing their own wealth or what's the benefit, start thinking like a strategy or like a reasonable way of thinking, that actually it's stopping how you feel the other people. Like even now, from last couple of weeks, riot happened in California, and maybe something similar, like a movement protest happened, in Las Vegas as well. And not only that, the war still, going crazy all over the world. And why these things happen, I don't say who is the bad, what's the reason, and not only that, what I want to say, the point is, can human possible to overcome all these conflict between the racial or background or behind. And I feel why I really do love Las Vegas is since I moved here, even in Japan, I don't say racism, but Japanese people think that someone we call gaijin, the overseas people we call gaijin, Chinese, 中国人, Korean, 韓国人. It is as a we name. Of course, it's just name. Oh yeah, we're Korean, the 韓国人, yes. But we something, unfortunately, not my generation, but my parents, a little bit older generation, a little bit condescending in some other countries' people. I feel, honestly, I'm so sorry. But a little bit, slightly, I'm pretty sure that kind of way of thinking Japanese people have. But we're all human. And I have many good Chinese friends and Korean friends, either different generation. And then even in Australia, still racial conflict still a little bit more stronger than US, how I feel. Because I lived there for 7 years. Like you go to the East Coast, like for example in Sydney, East Coast, all Caucasian background, Australian Aussies, and I go to the Western Sydney, which is I was used, and then we made a story from Echo A. There's a more diverse background, Lebanese, Vietnamese community, Chinese, Japanese. Well, Japanese is a little bit more Northeast, but anyhow, so it's I feel like two different countries we live in Sydney. But since I moved to Vegas, it's a little bit different. It's more open, and then everyone actually works harder. They don't just sit down and lay back on their privileges. No, American people, believe it or not, that's how I found out, they work really hard. American people work super hard. I do respect that. And then they get the achievement, and they're super strict on their professionalism. I don't know, sometimes it's the army style of the discipline. It doesn't matter. It's actually in America have a really, really strong professionalism, and I do love it because that's what we want to achieve. And always be friendly at my workplace, and even the customers, all over the world come to this place. But we start making a harmony in casino as it's a tourist place for the entertainment place. We don't have any conflict. So I believe still humans have a potential and chance to communicate without your background or skin color or anything. And then from the Mobile Suit Gundam, towards the end, if you watch the Mobile Suit Gundam, the concept towards the end, it's called new type. So what is new type in the story, in the anime? So human, if you're born in the space, they will get some revolution happen in your body and mind. So human actually expand their feeling side, intuition side. So they actually have ability to communicate only in your brain without using the device, or start feeling someone's emotions in the space. And the director Tomino-san is actually bringing the concept, if humans have more understanding each other, no conflict, no war. This anime is talking about war. 50% of the human died in the film, in the story. But he also built something hope for the human, which is called new type. And after watch this, I think still it's possible human have the ability for the new type, even current era, because I did do acting and I do Reiki and all the healing stuff. And then I'm more like an artistic background. And then I was born and grew up in Japan, I'm more like spiritual side. It's no woo stuff, but I feel it. And then I'm pretty sure humans still have some ability to connect without words. So that's why today's concept, why the presence is important. Because if without words, if without logic, just when you stand each other, human to human, stand and then you start feeling it, you can start connecting. Even maybe you don't have to stand each other next to you, because sometimes the human's intuition, the feeling, especially for the Reiki, what I learned, is actually go beyond the time, go beyond the space, go beyond the dimension. But you can still connect with someone, even someone passed away or someone be born before someone be born. And sounds strange what I'm talking. I totally understand. But if you start feeling the flow of the life in that way, it actually gives you more harmony in your life. In Japan, we call nagomu, wa in Japanese. By the way, Japan has a couple different ways to say it. Japan means, yes, Nippon means the base on the sunlight, rising sun, that's Japan, Nippon. But at the same time, it's actually Japan we call wa. Anything we call wa. Washoku, like a Japanese food, we call washoku. Shoku means food, wa means Japan, right? But what does wa mean? It actually means harmony. So Japan is a country who built the concept of harmony. So that's why in historically speaking, and when the Chinese culture came like almost like 1,500 years ago, we got a harmony from the Chinese culture and bring into the Japanese style. And then we invented a new word, is hiragana, katakana. It's actually based on kanji, but kanji, all these characters, the meaning actually come from China. So in a way, English is coming in. And when the Western cultures come in, when the English language come in, we start generating their own words like karaoke. What is karaoke? Is it orchestra, or kara means empty, or I don't know what's a karaoke, but the okay means like a sound. So it's English. So we generate combine the different words from Japanese, from Chinese or Korean, and then English. Now we just started inventing all creativity. Such a creative culture is actually Japanese. And what I'm trying to say is the key to the next world generation, for the next world happiness, I'm pretty sure it's the harmony. And then to feel the harmony, we have to go beyond your words or logic or what you're trying to say. So that's why still acting in humanity, making the film is really, really big impact to the world, because when you watch a film, you feel it. That's the moment you can be a human. And that's how you feel it. It's actually start saving the world, because it start building harmony. All right, so I think that's the whole talking to the today. But for the final words, I want to say is, hey Takashi, so which means the words is useless? No, I don't think so. In Japanese, we also have another word we call kotodama. Koto means kotoba, language. Dama means spirit. And the same character with Reiki. So every single word you say, it actually has a kotodama. So it means the spirit. So which means if you're swelling or say like F word, something, the bad things through your word, it's actually you manifesting in the bad energy, because that's a spirit. You throw the bad spirit. It's like a spell, magic spell. If you give the good things, I'm good. I've got this. I've got this. If you say, I've got this, it's actually coming back to you, because you threw the spirit. And the spirit is a mirror of your soul. So whenever you say something, it's actually come back to you. One time when I was in Japan, like 10, 15 years ago, I was almost like depressed about my acting career. And sometimes always saying the negative words. My friend came to me, Hara-kun, 言葉は力だよ. He always told me, 言葉, word, is a power, 力. So he always told me that actually helped me a lot. So whenever you want to say something negative, take a moment. You can still say your negative word. Before you say the negative word, if you can think twice, and how can you convert the negative word to the positive way? And that actually completely change your life. And why are you saying the word? What's the subtext? What's the context behind? And if you really want to connect with someone in front of you, even your husband, wife relationship, it's like a big conflict with this guy, give the word with spirit, kotodaba. And then you fully connect with someone with both intuition and feeling, and with words. Beautiful. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time for the episode. Bye.